Howdy howdy, this is Mr. Potter. What we're going to do in today's video is we're going to talk about a herd of turtles. So what I want to do is I want to talk about dealing with more than one turtle at a time. So we're going to go to our usual suspect and go to sculpt.org, which is where we have our turtle website. This is where we've been programming in Python using our turtles, and we've had a list of colors, we've had a list of positions or distances or angles, but really a list can be a collection of any type of object. What we're going to do in today's video is we're going to make a list of a collection of turtles. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. All we're going to have is our import library and I'm actually going to get rid of this line as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to create multiple turtles. So we're going to create several turtles. So I'm going to say A gets turtle dot turtle, and then I want to say B gets turtle dot turtle, and C gets turtle dot turtle, and D gets turtle dot turtle, and E gets turtle dot turtle. So I've got 5 different turtles here, and they're all labeled a different letter. So each letter A through E refers to a different turtle. I can actually have these turtles move to different locations, move different distances at different angles. Really, we can do a lot of different things here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a collection of these turtles. And by the way, turtles aren't in herds. It's actually called a bale of turtles. So I'm going to say bale gets... and I'm going to put these in a list, so A, then B, then C, then D, then E. And notice that the turtles in my bale, in my list, are the exact same color as they were when I declared them. So these are my variables. A is a turtle, the very first turtle that I created. E is a turtle, the very last turtle that I created. These are variables that I'm using here. And I'm going to say colors, and I'm going to go ahead and call this... make a collection of colors. So I want each of my turtles to be a different color. So I'm going to say red is going to be one color, and I'm going to have a yellow turtle, and I'm going to have a blue turtle, and then I'm going to have one of those nice user-defined turtles, so it's going to be hash, and I'm going to say 80, 80, 80, so it's going to be a nice gray turtle. And then, of course, what wouldn't be good without a green turtle? Let's make it a dark green, so we'll make this 0033. 00. Remember, it's red, green, and blue. So we've got 5 different colors here. I've got red, yellow, blue, and then I've got gray, and then I've got a nice dark green. And then what I'm going to do now that I've created this list of turtles here, so we've created a list of turtles. What I can do now is I can actually go through that list of turtles, spell it correctly, and have each turtle in that list do something. So I'm going to say for I in range len bale. So bale has a certain length, and I'm going to go from 0 to the length of that. So this is box 0 where the A is, this is box 1 where the B is, and so forth. So for each one of these turtles, I want to do the following. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, get the turtle that's in position 0 and set its color to colors sub 0. So in other words, my first turtle is going to be, let me do this right, color sub I. My first turtle is going to be the red turtle, my second turtle is going to be the yellow turtle, and so forth. So I'm having each one of the turtles change to the color that corresponds to its position. So turtle D is going to be my gray turtle because they're both in box 3. And turtle E is going to be my dark green turtle because it's in box 4's position. Then I'm going to tell each one of these turtles to pick its pen up. And that's because I'm going to move each of these turtles to a new position. So I'm going to do set position. And I'm going to set each position to -50 times I plus 50. And I'm going to do that for the X coordinate and for the Y coordinate. Now what I'm actually doing is I'm doing a mathematical formula to figure out what its X and Y position should be. Remember that I starts at 0, so it's going to be at -50 times 0 plus 50. So it's going to be at the position 50, 50. The second turtle is going to be at I equals 1, so it's going to be negative 50 plus 50, which is 0. Negative 50 plus 50, which is 0. The third turtle, I, is going to be 2, and it's going to be negative 100 plus 50, which is negative 50. And so each of these turtles are going to be a certain multiple of 50 pixels apart on the horizontal and a certain multiple of 50 pixels apart on the vertical. And they're going to make this nice diagonal formation. Once I do that, I'm going to say Bail sub I dot set heading, because I can set the heading just like I can set the position. And I'm actually going to set the heading to negative 30 degrees. Remember that 0 degrees is on the horizontal. So if I do negative 30, it's actually going to make it face downwards 30 degrees. So these turtles are going to be facing in a southeast direction. And then I'm going to have my turtles start doing their march. I'm going to do Bail.I, sub I, and I'm going to set the width of each of these turtles to 10 so that they're drawing nice thick lines. We can see their paths. Bail sub I dot pin down, and I'm going to set their pin down to a certain, so that now they will actually start drawing. And Bail sub I dot speed, and we're going to do the speed to 10, and I'll explain why in just a moment. So all of this is inside this loop, and I know it's inside this loop because all of these terms have the space in front of it. So each one of these statements has space in front of it, so I know that they all belong to that same loop. So anything that I don't put that space in front of is not going to be part of that loop. So now what I want to happen is if I go ahead and run what I've got here, then I can see my turtles turning to their appropriate positions. And so they're all facing southeast, all the different colors. So there's my red turtle, my yellow turtle, my blue turtle, my gray turtle, and my dark green turtle. That's in the order that I created them. That's in the order that we went through this. So notice that each one of them had to change its color, then pick its pin up, move, change its direction, change its width, put its pin down, and change its speed. So all of them are now in positions. Now I'm ready to have my turtles start to march. Now, what I want to do is, if I were to tell inside this loop to say Bail sub I dot forward 100, then what's going to happen is the red turtle is going to do all of its actions first and move 100 before any of the other turtles even get into position. So that's going to have us do this. So there it is, getting into each of the positions, and it moves, drawing its 100 pixel long line. And I don't want that to happen. I actually want all my turtles to kind of move in unison. So I actually want to get rid of this line of code here. And what I want to do is I want to set up another loop. So for dist in range 100. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each one of my turtles move in turn. So I'm going to set up another loop that says for t in Bail. So t is now a turtle, and dist is a distance. What I want to do is I'm going to say t dot forward, and I'm going to tell each turtle to move forward one step. So what's going to happen is the red turtle is going to move one, then the yellow turtle is going to move one, then the blue turtle moves one, then gray, then green, then back to the red turtle, because dist is now 2. And all the turtles are going to move one after the other, but they're only going to move 1 pixel forward 100 times. So here they are getting in position. Here's my first turtle, my second turtle, third turtle, fourth turtle, and fifth turtle. And they're all moving forward 1 pixel at a time. So this is how I actually get them to kind of move forward in unison. It looks like they're moving forward in unison because of this speed 10. If it wasn't a speed 10, it would actually be moving much slower, and you'd be able to see the red turtle move first, then the yellow turtle move second, then the blue turtle move third. You can see that if I drop this speed down to 1. Let's run that again. So here are all my turtles moving. By the way, notice that my turtles don't actually change their speed to 1 until after they're in position. You can see they're moving a little bit slower when they do that. So the speed of 10 really helps make things work a lot better. So real quick, what we did here is we talked about how we can have lists of objects, not just lists of colors or positions or distances or angles, but of turtles themselves. So this allows me to deal with multiple turtles at one time. And I also talk about, how if I go by each turtle one at a time, then in this loop, Turtle 1 performs all these tasks, Turtle 2 performs all these tasks, Turtle 3 performs all these tasks, and so forth. But if I do it like this, where I have it go through and each turtle's only taking one step at a time, then I can see a more uniform action where the turtles appear to be moving all at once, rather than the turtles kind of moving their entire 100 pixels and then the next turtle in the line does its whole 100 pixels. So this is a couple of ways that we can deal with a list of turtles, a bale of turtles, a herd of turtles, whatever you want to call this. It's a collection of turtles. And these turtles have a particular order to them. The red turtle comes first, and then the yellow, and then the blue. So we know the order of these turtles, we know the order of the steps they're going to do, and we can do this in two different ways. One where the turtle completes everything before the second turtle gets a chance to do anything, or this second loop example where all the turtles perform one task, then all the turtles perform a second task, then all the turtles perform a third task. So depending on your situation, depending on your scenario, what you're trying to achieve with your turtles, you can direct them to do, and depending on the scenario, one of these is going to be best for you. But I need you to be aware that there are two different ways that you can do this so that you can implement the one that you need when you need it. So once again, this is Mr. Potter. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.